the select board meeting for Tuesday, January 25th. And as we always do, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So this is a Zoom meeting, so I'm just going to read the verbiage. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, this meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting may do so in the following manner: Walpole Media, TV, YouTube, and on local cable access channel. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, and public participation in any public hearing conducted during this meeting shall be by remote means. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technology means. I will also call out roll calls as individual votes. So first up tonight, we have a public hearing and vote, the request of Instar Electric for grant of location to install one new pole within the town layout on Robbins Road. Jim, would you read the motion?
So motion to open the public hearing for Instar Electric Company for grant of location to install one new pole within the town layout of Robbins Road.
I'll second that. So we have a motion and a second. Jim?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. Okay.
Chris, are you on the call?
I am.
Okay, great. This is Chris Crosby from Eversource.
Is this AP?
It is, yes.
Okay. Yes, this is Christine Crosby from Eversource.
Mark, if I could just talk a little bit about this. So this request is actually coming from the town. We're looking to install a new pole within the layout at Robbins Road. Reason being is we are going to move forward with some of the items included in the new trash contract, which is to install a compactor down there so we can save some space and cut back on the recycling number of trailers that go in and out of there. So it's actually going to be a cost saving measure for the town. So does anybody have any questions?
No questions for me.
The only question that I had was if I read the schematic properly, it looks like the new pole is within 14 feet of an existing pole. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, that is correct.
And so is that other pole that's 14 feet away, is that being removed or are they both going to be there?
Well, they're both going to be there because that existing pole that's out there presently has a primary riser on it. And that primary riser supplies the electric feed for the school, the Johnson School. And we can't attach another riser to that pole because that pole is specifically dedicated to serve the school, the underground service of the school transformer.
Okay. It just is kind of odd to have two poles 14 feet apart. I mean, if that's the way it has to be, that's the way it has to be. It just feels odd to me.
I know. I went out there. I saw it. That is the case. They both they're both on the corner of the property, of the driveway there. They're in like a wooded area, so maybe that helps. But again, we can't use that pole that's already out there because it already has a dedicated feed with the primary riser for the school.
Does it make sense to make them closer together?
I don't know. I'm trying to look at the plan here. It looks like I don't know, no, because, the pole where it presently feeds, the present pole that's out there is directly across the street from where the transformer is, pad mount transformer is on the school property. That's why that pole's there. And this new pole is where it's going in is right at the edge of the property where the service will be coming into the property where the compactor is going.
So it makes sense to put the pole where you've got it located, and we're just gonna have to live with the fact that there are two poles 14 feet apart.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that was the only question I had. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose Mark?
We might have.
Bad connection?
We might have lost him. I'll reach out to him, Ben. You want to take the meeting?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, sure. Is there any further discussion or comment on the NSTAR's request for the new pole on Robbins Road?
So I'll move to close the public hearing, Ben.
Second.
Second, and we have a second from Gwen. So we will do a roll call vote. Jim,
Aye.
Gwen,
Aye.
and Ben, aye. Vote is 3-0-0 to close the public hearing.
And I'll move to approve the request of NSTAR Electric Company for a grant of location to install one new pole within the town layout of Robbins Road.
Seconded.
So we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Jim,
Aye.
Gwen,
Aye.
Ben, aye. Motion passes 3-0-0. And thank you to the folks from NSTAR who were on tonight for that. Thanks for the info.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Why don't we pause real quick here to see if Mark is.
just spoke to him, Ben. I know you.
Yeah, I think I'm back now.
There he is.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I'm having Wi-Fi trouble, so if I drop off again, I'll back in as fast as I can.
We finished up with the NSTAR piece, Mark. So the next item on the agenda, we were just holding on until you jumped back on.
Great. Okay, so the next item is to vote to appoint candidate Christopher Malloy to the position of firefighter paramedic. Chief, would you like to give us an introduction?
Certainly, Mr. Chair. Tonight I bring before you candidate Christopher Malloy. Christopher is a graduate of Foxborough High School. He has an associate's degree from Bristol Community College, and he is working on his paramedic, which he is just about finished with. He has interviewed with us on more than one occasion, and he's done everything and worked extremely hard to get to this point. And I bring him before you this evening, looking for your endorsement to appoint him as a conditional appointee for a current vacancy that we have.
That's great. Christopher, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be given this opportunity. I've been working hard at it for quite a few years now, especially with this paramedic program. The last couple of years, it's been very difficult given the pandemic and everything, but we're right now, so I'm looking forward to finish line.
Great. I'll open it up to questions. Anybody on the board have a question?
I'll make a quick comment, Mr.
Sure.
Chairman. I'm just looking at Chris's resume here. I just want to read how he describes himself, and I think this is great for the town. So he's a highly motivated and willing to learn as much as possible. He's organized, he's proactive and punctual with a team-oriented mentality. He's always looking forward to the next step to better himself overall for the people he serves. He's a hardworking and reliable firefighter and a devoted EMT. So these are all qualities that we're looking for in Walpole. And so I'd say congratulations and welcome to Firefighter Malloy.
Thanks, Glenn. I don't have any questions, but I'm looking forward to seeing you get started with the fire department. Anybody else have any questions? Jim, would you make a motion?
I will. I'd move to appoint candidate Christopher Malloy to the position of firefighter paramedic.
Second.
So we have a motion, a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Jim,
Aye.
Ben,
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Next up, we have the Historical Commission and Historical Society discussion and possible vote on historical sign projects. Betsy, would that be you?
Yes, that's me.
Welcome.
Thanks. So I'm a member of the Historical Society, and this is something that we came up with in conjunction with the Historical Commission, who definitely approves of this idea, that we get a lot more historic signage in Walpole. In fact, if you go to some other towns, you see the kind of historic signage I'm talking about, where there's a mini essay on the sign. You're standing in front of some building or site, and you get a little history from it. And we don't have that whole lot in Walpole. We got the idea as maybe it being a project for the 300th anniversary, starting early, so that maybe we can get some signs in place, so that by the time we get to the 300th anniversary, there'll be a little groundswell about it. Like, this is great. We're getting historic signs. What can we do next? What other signs can we do? So we want to start with 14 signs for each of the Walpole privileges. That's the dams that dam up ponds, and there was an historic mill or more than one mill at each of these 14 privileges along the Neponset and its tributaries. We're just starting there. I want to do more, but this is the sort of pilot project. And what we need is permission from the board to put signs on town property. And then I understand that that's not the only permission we need. We also then need to go to the building inspector to make sure the signs are placed exactly where that department wants them placed. But for starters, we need your permission to put signs on public property. And we also need your permission to ask the DPW to install the signs. We're getting them made, but we're anticipating some of these going to be bolted onto fences or bolted onto bridge railings, or maybe they need to have an independent signpost or something. But we need that as well, I feel, if we're going to put proper signs on public property. And I think you might have a handout in front of you on this.
Yeah, yep.
You actually see a list of the signs that we want. And if anyone is going to ask me, what are we going to do about the private property or difficult locations? Well, I'm putting those to the bottom of the list. Well, we'll definitely do the ones that we can do easily first, and then we have to deal with special requests from people for a couple of them.
Great. I think it's a great idea to have more signs, especially of historical significance. Let me open it up for questions and comments by the board. Jim?
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a great idea. In fact, as I read through it, it was like, gee, we should have done this a long time ago. So I'm just loving the fact that you're bringing this forward, Betsy. The only question that I had was I didn't get a sense for, and it's probably different depending on the location and the history, but the type of sign, it's kind of what the sign would look like and how big they'd be, that kind of thing. Do you have any sense for that?
Yes, I do. And gosh, I wish I had been prepared for that better. I'm thinking about the kinds of signs that Foxborough has, if you're familiar with them. So they're big enough, and well, first of all, they're metal, and the enamel is applied to them, so they're, it's not just painted on, it's enameled on, and there's a mini essay on each one. So you could be at Morse Pond in Foxborough, and you get a little essay written by an historical society member about what you're looking at. So obviously it's not for everybody. Not everyone's going to stop and look at it, but it's a fairly big sign. I've priced them out. We've got the money for it. Can I just add, the money right now for this pilot project is coming from money donated in memory of Roger Turner Jr. I'm going to get teary-eyed here, sorry, but he would have loved this.
Yeah.
He would love this project. So the good thing is we're doing it. The bad thing is he doesn't get to see it. But that's why I wanted to start with the privileges, the ponds.
So thank you. You've answered my question. And I like the fact that they're porcelain too, because that means they'll stand up better. I just want to make sure that they really look nice, because this is a great idea. We should just do it really well. Sounds like you've got that covered.
Yeah.
And the tie-in to Roger and the tie-in to the 300th, just awesome. I mean, this is really good.
Yeah, and we want to have them a standard look too. So we're going to Signorama, which is a vendor for the town. So they're very familiar with town signs.
Okay.
As soon as I said we're doing this for the town, they were, oh yes, we know what we're talking about here. We want them to all have the same look. So if someone walks by or drives by, they go, oh, there's an historic sign because it has that look. So each of them is going to have the same border, the same font, the same color.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I'm completely supportive. This is a really good idea. Thank you.
Glenn, how about you?
Oh, no, I agree with Jim. This is a great project and memory of a great person. I'm glad we're doing it. So thanks, Betsy, for that. I did have a similar question to Jim. He asked it, you mostly answered it. I would just probably piggyback on the as far as the style of sign is concerned. I know that's probably a little bit still in the works. Is that there are a couple other sign projects going on at the same time, and I think maybe Patrick in the Community and Economic, Pat Shane, is working on something. He got a little bit of money, and I think he's still in the process of figuring out exactly what the style is going to be. It's more for the downtown area, so it's completely separate. It's a sign project. That's the only reason I'm mentioning it. It has nothing to do with what you're doing. You could go your own style in your own direction. That's totally fine. But just in case, I'm mentioning it because I think the Trails Committee is doing something too. So maybe there's an opportunity to keep it consistent. I'm not saying it has to be, but it's a conversation worth having. That's all. Just wanted to mention that.
Okay,
Thanks,
Glenn,
Glenn.
I'm familiar with the recent signs from the Trails Committee. I really like those, and I know you're getting them at Signorama.
Yes.
Gary Riggett told me.
Okay, good.
So I wasn't going, that's a great looking sign, but we weren't going to go quite with that style.
I figured you might not. Yeah.
But should I be coordinating with someone on another committee?
With Pat Shane, let me just see if I can get his mock-up, and I can just share it with you, and that way you can have it and decide if it's something that you want to piggyback on or not.
Okay.
And I think he's going through Signorama also, and I think it's still in the works. So that's still a conversation that's happening.
Okay.
And we'll just compare notes and go from there.
Yeah.
Ben, any comments or questions?
No, I think everybody's covered it. I think it's a wonderful idea. So thank you, Betsy, for bringing it before us and doing all this legwork.
Thanks, Ben. Jim Johnson, I should have started with you, but I didn't. So any other comments or questions?
No, I think these signs are going to look great in addition to the ones that Glenn and I have talked about. So looking forward to getting them up.
Great. Thank you, Betsy. Jim, would you make a motion?
I will. I move to support the historical sign project and approve request to work in conjunction with the DPW to install the signs once the locations have been approved by the building department.
Second.
So a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Jim?
Aye.
Glenn? Ben?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. The motion passes. Thank you, Betsy, for bringing this forward.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Next up, we have Council on Aging interviews and a vote for appointment, one regular member and one associate member. I see Josette Burke is here from the Council on Aging. Josette, would you like to say a few words? Josette, you're on mute. Josette, you're on mute.
Better?
There you go, much better.
Okay. On January 13th, the Council of Aging Executive Board met and interviewed Masha St. Louis. We had previously interviewed Sandia and Linda Colletti. So we then took a vote, which we forwarded to you according to our new policy and procedures. Unfortunately, Masha's had a medical situation, so she's inpatient in the hospital right now, so she couldn't be here with us tonight. But we are hoping that you will follow through with our recommendation. And Sandia is here to answer any questions you may have. She is an associate that is looking to be promoted, appointed to a full-time membership. And she's here, and you have the resume of the other two ladies that were previously interviewed, Linda and Masha.
Thank you, Josette. I also noticed that Kerry McManama is on board. She's our COA director. Kerry, would you like to say any words?
Josette covered it. The e-board did meet and make some recommendations that were forwarded to you. The board has really transformed a lot in the last several months, and it's great to see.
Yeah, I would just say that I'm very impressed every time I go over to the Council on Aging. Not that I'm old enough to be there, although actually I am now. I did go over when the Walpole robotics team came over, and the kids had a great time showing the robot off to the seniors and letting the seniors drive it. It was really great to see, and I know you've got lots of great programs, so thank you for all that you do. So why don't we start, Cindy? Would you like to say a few words? We've all read your package.
Sure. I think you've heard me speak before. It's nice to see all of you again. As Josette said, I am currently an associate member on the board, and I'm looking to become a full member of the board. My interest is, of course, to support the mission of the COA, and not only to support the mission of the COA and the seniors in town, but I myself partake a lot in the programming that is offered at the senior center. And I gotta hand it to Kerry and Debbie and Sherry for the wonderful work that they do. So much so that I actually have a couple of friends who have come from other towns to join our COA here because the programming offered here is more robust. You know who they are, Kerry. So I'm definitely interested in that. I also just want to make a positive impact in the community in town. I'm a member of the Walpole Trails Committee also since 2019, and that is also a lot of fun. My associate board role will complete in March of this year, and I'd like to recommit as a full board member for a full 3-year term. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments or questions? Jim, would you like to make a motion?
I would. I will, let's see, where are we? I will motion to promote Sanjil Malar to a regular member of the Council on Aging.
Second.
And else, sorry, we have a second. Motion is second. Do we have any further comments? I didn't mean to quickly. So we have a motion is second. Let's do a roll call vote. Jim?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. I also see that Linda's here. Linda, would you like to say a few words? Try it again. Linda, I see that you might be on board. Would you like to say a few words? Okay, we'll keep going. I did hear from two sources that Marcia St. Louis was not able to attend. And while we certainly like to interview the candidates, I think it would be okay from my perspective to move forward since she has been recommended for the associate position by the Council on Aging Board. Do all the members agree with that?
Yep.
Jim, would you make a motion?
Sure. I'll make a motion to appoint Marcia St. Louis as an associate member of the Council on Aging.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Jim?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Ben,
Aye.
Mark, aye. Congratulations and thank you for all the work you do for our seniors.
Thank you.
Mark, may I say one thing? I would
Certainly.
like to thank Ben because he gives us he gives the COA board a monthly update of what the select board has done for our meetings so that they can be added to the COA board meetings. And I know it gets published in the policy, but in public.
Oh, Facebook, yep.
Yeah, but I really appreciate the time he takes to follow through with it. And I appreciate your attendance and your comments at our meetings. So thank you.
Thanks, Josette. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Josette.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So next up, we have Action Together Walpole discussion on the Freedom Team program. Kristen, I see you there. Would you like to introduce the topic?
Sure. Thank you everybody for having me here tonight. I had asked to come to the meeting to discuss collaborating on a program that some community members are interested in getting started, which is called the Freedom Team. I included a bunch of information in the packet that I sent over, but I'll go over it briefly now and answer any questions that you have. I also see that Chief Kelleher is here, and he can also speak to some feedback that he received from some other police chiefs in towns that have their own teams. So the Freedom Team is a volunteer-run community group that works to develop unity within the community through love, inclusion, and trust. It's a group that is reactive, proactive, and retroactive in assessing and reassessing any acts of hate or bias in town. It's not a replacement for the police or emergency services, but it's a complement to the system. It's based on a 10-point community model that includes 10 points of contact in the community. And those are parents, students, folks from the education network, someone from the political structure in town, the chief of police, a lawyer, a trauma-informed clinician, a clergy person, someone trained in restorative or transformative justice, and a social media and website support person. The team will provide a phone number and an email address for people to use to reach out to the team if there's any issue related to hate or bias that they need assistance with. The phone number and email address are not in place of the police in times of emergency care or need, and it will be monitored by the police department as well as the Freedom Team members. And we think this group is important because no one agency can provide all the support that everybody in town needs to its community members. And the Freedom Team provides another layer of support when issues of hate, bias, or racism come up. The team can work with the school system if something comes up within the school district, can work with town officials if there's a town-wide issue, and can work with individuals who just need some support. It's a place where someone can come to talk about these issues and address the problems that they're having outside of, that may be falling outside of the police department's purview. And it may help folks who are not comfortable approaching the police or approaching the school district or approaching town officials in getting what they need as far as help in addressing the issue. It is important that we have a member of the select board be part of the team. So I would like to invite anyone who's interested to participate with us. And we're also looking for additional volunteers and would appreciate any help in spreading the word about the group and connecting us to anybody who you think might be a good fit. So I'm open to any questions, or if you want to hear from Chief Kelleher about his thoughts.
Let me open it up to questions from the board first. And I'll start off with one of the issues that I've been thinking about. I know some of the other members were thinking about. One of the things as a board member, we tend not to become official board members on other boards. You know, I think if you think of us more as a liaison I think that would be a great way to view that. And also, it would work the same way with people who are employed by the town. I think it's a great idea. I'm certainly willing to help out if asked in any way you'd like. So let me go around and let me start with you, Jim.
So first of all, I like the idea. Obviously, there is no place around our town for hate and racism and all of those types of issues that, you know, this group would be concerned with. So I applaud the effort. I agree with Mark that being directly involved in the committee, I think, is probably a difficult thing for the select board to do, but we should certainly be a liaison into this effort. I, for one, would like to, you know, be hearing about what issues are coming up and how they're being dealt with as we go forward. So I'm supportive of the notion, but I think we do have some limitations in terms of what we as a select board can do in terms of our direct involvement. That does not mean that we wouldn't be indirectly involved. So completely supportive. As we go deeper into the discussion, I imagine Chief Kelleher will offer some thoughts as well. And I'd be interested to hear from him on those. So that's what I've got, Mark. Thanks.
Thanks, Jim. Let me go to Ben next.
Yeah, I'd save my questions and just kind of want to hear what Chief Keller has to say about it.
Sure. Glenn, any comments or questions right now?
No, in general, I think it's great that we have a group of private citizens in Walpole that want to organize and make sure that we're ready to respond to acts of hate or bias in town if they happen or when they happen, and that we can be responsive to that and proactive as well. And so, no, I think it's great that people are getting together to do this. And if I can be supportive, I'll be supportive.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
Let me go to Chief Kelleher. Welcome, Rich.
Thank you, sir. And thank you everyone for having me here tonight. So when I met with Kristen a while back about this this topic and about this team, I had reached out to several of the police chiefs, notably in Natick and in Franklin. Chief Hicks in Natick was kind of one of the first chiefs to get involved with this program. He had a lot of great things to say about it. It sounded like it was very beneficial to his community. It offers a resource or assistance to those victims, as Kristen had mentioned. Some people may not want to come forward. Admittedly, we don't have a lot of hate crimes reported to us, and it's not saying that that's not happening. So this might be a great way for people to be able to look for assistance, look for some help, and collaboratively as a group, maybe some of us could offer some assistance to those folks. Again, I echo what Jim O'Neill, you just said a few minutes ago, where there's no place for hate in this town, and I feel that same way. And I certainly think Kristen and her group's efforts are admirable here with this group. So I'm willing to assist in any way that the town's comfortable with, and make sure that we help these folks that might be experiencing discrimination at any level, whether it be the schools or in private citizens or in any other venue. So again, long story short, the other chiefs thought it was very beneficial in their own communities, and I feel that it could be beneficial for us to try to come up with something to help people that maybe suffer from discrimination or bias crimes.
Thanks, Rich. Let me circle back to the select board. Anybody have any more comments or questions? Ben, you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. I'll just echo what everyone has said. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think that there's a demonstrated need for this in the town. And I think the fact that, we can meet that need through a collaborative effort from a group of people whose expertise and backgrounds and life experience are, considerably different from possibly ours or anybody else who's in town hall or in a position of power in town. So I think that's very helpful, and to have that input, and to have that viewpoint. And I'm thankful for Kristen and the group that's been working with her, and to Chief Kelleher as well for doing all the legwork to kind of lay the foundation for this. And Jim Johnson as well for getting town council involved and answering our questions about liability and some of the concerns we had. So it really has been a group effort, and I'm interested to hear how it goes. I know that it doesn't fall under the select board of the town's purview, Kristen, but I'd love to hear back from you in 6 to 8 months and hear if you've been able to bring these volunteers together and how it's going. So I think, again, just having that ongoing communication and that collaborative approach is is really important. So I'm looking forward to it.
Great, thank you. I do know in the other towns who have freedom teams, they usually do have a select board member or the town administrator as part of the team. So I can reach out to them and just get more of an idea of what that looks like and if they've had any of the same concerns that you all have had. And I do see it as kind of a liaison sort of role that, you wouldn't necessarily have to be at every meeting or be involved in everything that's going on, but if there's something that's obviously related to the larger town that needs to be addressed, we would want to have your support and be able to chat with you about that.
Jim?
Yeah, and so you've just raised a very important point. I don't think there's any issue with us coming to meetings and being present to the meetings and being even part of the discussion. I think it's just being a formal member of the group is where we start to run into trouble. But I'm quite sure that we can get past that. And this notion of being a liaison, I think, is the way to do that, and help you in what I think is some really important work here. So I don't think there'll be an issue with that, Kristen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, Mark, I think that your idea, I know that you had kind of raised your hand there as far as being a liaison, but it seems like in terms of being able to interface with the town, it's probably the chair of the select board and the chief of police and the town administrator to some extent that are those liaison points for issues that the town may need to be involved in. And certainly if, the chair of the select board has a lot of different things going on, if that needed to be then passed to the vice chair or somebody else, we could do that. But I do agree that I think that the chair of the select board and the chief of police should at least be the first points of contact in the event that somebody's reaching out.
Sure, Ben, that sounds fine. So Kristen, as you gear up and, put a meeting together or whatever your next step may be, please let us know, myself and Jim Johnson, and, we'll share that information with the whole board. If I'm available, I'd love to come. And if not, we often, sort of help each other out on different boards when, if I'm supposed to go and I'm out of town or I'm not available, Ben will go or Jim will go or Glenn will go. So we're used to sharing responsibility as we reach out and be involved with different activities. So, we'll continue to do that kind of thing with this group.
Okay, sounds good.
I think Linda
appreciate it.
say something.
Hi, Lori, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good.
There's a message in the chat that Linda was trying to talk. I'm not sure if anybody is there to help her.
Yeah, I'm
Linda,
answering
sorry.
her question. She was saying she was having some issues, so I'm chatting to her, so she's good. But thank you, Laurie.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, as you notice, I had trouble at the beginning of the meeting. My Wi-Fi sort of went away for a moment, and I came back on a tablet. So happens to all of us. So Kristen, let us know what the next steps are as you move forward. And, do you have any plans for a meeting as of now, or are you still sort of working on that?
Yeah, not yet. We still have to get a few more volunteers geared up with us. So again, if you know anybody who might be a good fit, send them my way. I'm happy to chat with them about that. Yeah, so as soon as we have a few more people in place, then we'll start figuring out a meeting time.
Kristen, maybe, so I see there's 10 folks listed in the literature that you gave us. If there's any particular out of those 10 that you'd need help with, maybe just shoot us an email or shoot Ethan an email and she can distribute it to us.
Yep, sure. I know right off the bat we need parents and we need students. So those are at least a couple of groups that we need some help with.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Reach out anytime.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Next up, new business, vote to accept the resignation of Carrie Denunzio from the Walpole Cultural Council. Jim,
I'll
you want
make
to
a
make that into a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Cara Denizio from the Walpole Cultural Council with regrets.
Second.
I'll second that. Jim?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. Jim, you want to do the consent agenda?
Certainly, I'll move that we accept with gratitude the following donations. New Pond Village Residents Association to the library gift account. Eugene and Joan Riley to the Council on Aging gift account. Louis and Helene Beer to the Council on Aging gift account. Gloria Deneen to the Council on Aging gift account. And we had an anonymous gift to the COA gift account as well. And then the final one, and Mark and Jim, you guys probably want to say more words on this, but we got a very sizable contribution from the Walpole Co-op, $42,000, which I think is important to call out here. So perhaps after we take the vote, or maybe before, Mark, your call, you can say a few more words on that.
Sure, Jim Johnson, you want to?
Sure. So back before Christmas, former select board member Cliff Snuffer reached out to Carrie and I and said, hey, the Walpole Coop might be donating some money for a new van. We may want to reach out to them. So Carrie and I did reach out to them. They're going to go forward with, they actually already have cut a check and it's been delivered to the dealership for $42,000 for a new van. That's going to provide more accessibility to the seniors who take advantage of the program that Carrie offers down there, whether it be a trip to a doctor's appointment or a quickie trip to Stop and Shop or something. It's going to be a lot easier for the drivers and the people taking the van to get in and out of there a lot quicker than having to take the bus when it's not necessary if it's only just a few people. And I can't say enough good things about the Walpole Coop and the good work they're doing down there. And also Cliff has done some yeoman's work on this one. He kind of took it upon himself to reach out to them and to get the ball rolling on this thing. And it's a nice gift to get right after Christmas. It's going to be probably put into service within the next few weeks. And we thank everyone for their efforts. Mark, did I miss anything?
No, that was good. I would also say thank you to Cliff Snuffer for helping identify the opportunity, and the Walpole Co-op Bank continues to go all out for our seniors, not only making the donation that helped make the Council on Aging building itself possible, but looking for opportunities to help the seniors. And a big thank you to them as well. So we have a motion and a second. I'd like to do a roll call vote. Jim?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. Minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes of January 11th and January 18th, 2022 as presented in our packet.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Jim?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Glenn?
Aye.
Mark? Aye. Town administrators update?
Sure, just a few items. What we have is snow and ice. Obviously, we have had a pretty good winter so far. That could change this weekend. Rick and I talked this morning, and our weather forecasts are predicting a possible 2-day storm starting Friday, going all day into Saturday. So we'll be closely monitoring that. It looks like it's going to hit in the afternoon on Friday and just keep going Saturday into late afternoon. We'll make sure we have everything lined up, and Drew has already assured me he'll be ready to go with the highway guys if and when it comes. So FY23 budget, I expect the governor's numbers to be released tomorrow. He's actually giving a state of the Commonwealth right now. The insurance numbers, I've been told by Maya that they will be provided to me by the start of February. So if all goes well, I won't need that extension I requested last week, and I'll be able to deliver the budget message on it before February 7th. So more to come on that, and we're getting closer to finalizing these numbers. And just one last thing, ARPA projects, Jody's gone forward and started the process of entering the project request into the county's portal, which is the online portal they developed for cities and towns to request the funds. Once she has her submittals in, I have to go in and approve them and confirm approval with the town. So bottom line, we're moving forward with these submittals, and hopefully we'll hear back from the county soon. And that's it.
Great. Yeah, let us know as that happens, Jim, if any of them don't make it through the process.
I certainly will.
Any questions or comments for Jim? Looks like we're good. I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Do a motion to adjourn Jim,
Aye.
Ben,
Aye.
Glenn,
Aye.
Mark, aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Right.